Let's get to work.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the Earth needs a good lawyer.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Put Brewers weekends back on your schedule when the Crew take on the Nationals April 10th through the 12th. Collect a new Mish trading card bobblehead for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 11th, courtesy of Toyota. Then reserve Sunday for a full day of family fun. Kids can run the bases, get autographs, and the first 5,000 kids get a Brewers wiffle ball set, courtesy of Joy. Plus, it's a kids cheer free Sunday. Grab your seat at brewers.com/tickets.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Admittedly, it is a small sample size chew, but I have decided that high school baseball is the worst sport to watch in Wisconsin.
And why is that?
Well,
anything to do with the weather?
Yes, mostly the weather.
You could put track in there too. I remember the days of track where my kids would be throwing shot put and it'd be 28 degrees.
Oh, okay. I will counter argue that though. Okay. Because if you know what events your kids are doing in track, you can watch that event, retreat to the car, right? You have the option.
That's fair.
I mean, track, they run the same schedule of events every single meet, for the most part, unless you're doing like a relay or something, which is its own unique brand. But for the most part, so I feel like you can sort of insulate yourself from the elements. Baseball is just hard and fast, 7 innings. Last night we were sitting outside in Glendale for the first baseball game of the season, and they won. I think it was 16-4, so putting up some runs, at least trying to keep you entertained throughout the baseball game. But the temperature was 44, but the feels like on the iPhone weather app was 28. And the wind was whipping so hard. I almost felt like a negligent parent for having my girls out there with us last night, like having them sitting on those cold bleachers watching the baseball game.
They play at night?
5 o'clock.
Well, that's on the. When does school end? 2:30?
Yeah, about.
Play the game at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Where it's probably 10 degrees warmer.
Maybe.
Help them out a little bit.
Yeah, but you probably have, people who are volunteering that need to come from other places that aren't necessarily employed there. Like, you got to give time.
I think most...
Yeah, but I remember getting out of school.
Wouldn't you have to early release the kids from the traveling school?
But I remember getting out of school because I played baseball for like a game or two, and then it's so flippin' boring.
Wait, what position did you play?
Left field, pitched. Threw a no-hitter as a sophomore. But I just couldn't. I couldn't stomach baseball.
Huh? You just decided to reveal that now out of nowhere?
Yeah. And I also, in left field, caught a ball off the head that bounced over the fence.
Caught a ball off your head?
Yeah, I Conseco'd it.
So you didn't catch it.
It didn't really hurt either, which was
bounced
weird.
Off your head and went over the fence.
Yes.
That's not a catch.
That is a home run, Jen.
No, I'm saying that's not a catch.
No.
You said I caught it.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, I caught it off the head. I thought it would hurt more. Maybe the embarrassment of it all kind of like numbed my body.
So many jokes, so little time.
Yeah.
You threw a no-hitter in high school? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't told us more about that. Or is that a self-praise stink PU?
A little bit. Because that was, I think that's the last time I pitched. And then I was bored. I'm not going to lie. In high school. Now, granted, I went to, my graduating class had 88 kids in it. So I was a little bit of a prima donna. Where the baseball coach just let me walk in to the team the middle of the season and start playing.
Okay, because he thought you might help the team. You could help the team.
Well, that's not really fair, though. Looking back, you think to put a kid on the bench who's been there.
I mean, I don't know if you were better than them. I mean, is it a meritocracy or not? I don't know.
Yeah. So and looking back, I don't know. Baseball seems so hard to crack. I think I probably could have got a scholarship, but wouldn't have went any farther than that.
Oh, you got a scholarship in football. It all seems to have worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
Am I wrong that baseball is the worst sport to watch in Wisconsin? It has to be a spring sport, right? In the fall, like the reason I can't give any fall sports is because it's nice and warm and toasty at the beginning of the season. And if you make it a long ways in the end of the season, yes, the weather gets worse, but you're playing for more, right? So that balances the scales. The games mean more even though the weather is worse. Yesterday's game, first game of the season, non-conference, sitting out there with a feels like of 28 degrees. I mean, are there others? Am I missing something? Is there something out there that I'm missing that could be considered worse? Are there swimming parents out there that want to be like, hey, you ever sat in a steamy pool for 4 hours watching your kid? Like, I don't know.
I mean, AAU basketball during the summer was a little painful.
Hot?
Well, you go into some of those gyms and there's no AC and it's just sweltering, but there's nothing. I'd rather be warm than cold.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Josh? And I think we've polled this before. Would you rather be in 100 degrees watching something or -10? I'll take 100 degrees all day long.
The problem here is in Wisconsin, I'm more likely to have consecutive days of negative wind chill than I am to have 100 degrees for more than a few days.
In the summer.
Yeah.
Right. That's what, I can withstand a 100-degree day because it's usually one day, and then you're out of it. Mm-hmm. The problem here is when a cold snap comes, I could be seeing that for the next 6 days.
Well, let's take a look, Joshy. What does today have on the menu for our... We don't have a game today. We have a game tomorrow.
Yes.
Today, right now, it's 26 degrees. And let's say tomorrow... Oh, great. Tomorrow, around game time, it says it's going to be 63 degrees.
Right.
I'll take that. That's fantastic. Here's what I will say. I'm getting dressed. I'm getting ready to go to the game. I'm throwing snacks in the bag, right? Activities for the girls so that they can pass the time, grabbing my water bottle. And I put snow pants on. I threw on my black snow pants, threw on my big black coat, and I brought 2 big blankets in addition to the bleacher seats, the soft ones that you sit on instead of having your butt freezing on the metal.
It took us.
And as I'm walking up, I've got the giant blanket in my arm. I've got the other giant blanket in my arm. I got the activity bag in my arms. And a couple of parents were like, what is happening right now? What are you, climbing Mount Everest? What are we doing here? I said, I hate being cold. I refuse to be cold. So I got my snow pants on. I got 3 layers of sweatshirts on, and I got my jacket. Guess what? I wasn't cold. Everyone else around me, cold. Lost chewing.
What about for the athlete, though?
Is it? Well, that's the other thing.
For the
so
athlete?
again, I think this goes back to baseball. Just generally speaking, they're just kind of standing around, right?
Yeah.
Jason Wilde posted a video on his Instagram account of his daughter playing soccer, Chew. And she's running around. She's moving around. She's, chasing the ball down. And that, feels like a little bit better than kind of just standing, waiting for the ball to be hit your way in baseball. I don't know. Again, small sample size here, guys, but I feel like I got a pretty good case for high school baseball being the worst sport to watch in Wisconsin.
What about...
But I can tell...
I was thinking hockey, just because you're always in a cold, frozen arena. Now, you're always prepared for it, and it certainly doesn't fluctuate. But those are pretty cold outside of, like, if you're in specifically not the most updated. I've played in some hockey places that were not updated and extremely cold. So if it was cold outside, it was cold inside, and then there was frozen ice.
Counterpoint, always a concession stand. Grab yourself a coffee. Grab yourself a hot chocolate.
No wind.
You know what? No wind. You know what they don't have at baseball games? At least yesterday? Concession stands.
My little league had a concession stand.
And I believe that the park... I know, we had one too, my brothers, when they played. And I believe that the park hadn't opened the bathrooms yet. You know, it's one of those public parks, and they have to go and unlock the bathrooms. So everybody was using the porta potties. That's got to take it down a notch again.
Yeah. Is there
an athlete, I mean, I think most people think that, you know, guys want to play in like 55. No, I wanted to play 80 degrees with very little humidity because you're loose. You're loose as ever. You feel great. And like I said, you should never get tired as a professional athlete. I never got tired, so that wasn't an issue. Now you dehydrate a little more, but there's always the good old IV. But I would play in 80 degrees just because you felt so loose.
Well, it's funny that you say that, too.
I hated playing in the cold.
I'm watching Chaser. I think we might have a delay on Chewy.
Chewy, can you stop here? Can you turn your machine off and turn it back on? Because you're like 10 seconds behind us. It's crazy. So just reboot your machine.
See ya.
Yep, thank you.
Now the chances of him coming back are.
I did give him an out to leave, which is problematic. That was the worst I've ever heard of.
That was bad, yeah. And I could tell when we were jumping on each other. Usually it's a little bit better. We're able to tell when the other person is speaking. I will say this: he makes a good point though, Joshy, because Chase is standing over on second base, and he's standing there, and he's standing there, and he's standing there, and he's standing there. And I mean, you know how baseball is.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like go. And I'm like, oh, God, hamstrings, you know, like, and he, you know, rounds third, heads for home. And I'm thinking, oh, God, you know, and again, he's 17. So there's a part of me that's like, you're the rubber band man out there. But I was thinking, please don't blow a hammy because you've been standing in feels like 28 degrees for the last 7 minutes. And all of a sudden, bang, you got to go.
It's definitely the youth is a big factor there. As somebody who's played adult softball, when it can get really cold, that's when I'm like, I'm going 70% here, rounding third base, because I can't go to work with an injury and be taken out. There is an aspect here of, would your son, would Chase be offended if you said anything below 40 degrees at game time, we're not attending? We love you. We support you. We'll do all the other games we can. But sub 40s, me and your sisters, they don't got a lot to work with there. They're tiny little girls. We're sitting it out.
All right. So would Chase have an issue with it? I don't think so in the slightest. He'd be like, cool, see you at home. I don't think it would bother him at all. I, however, am dealing with my firstborn is going off to college in a year and some change, and I'm doing the thing where I'm like, I gotta soak up every opportunity. I gotta be there for everything. And I am self-aware. I know this is happening, and that is what drives the sitting in the bleachers. 28 degrees feels like, wrapped in a blanket, going, this is fine, like the dog in the fire room. Okay, I know what is driving the madness. Do we have Chewy back?
Yeah, and let me tell you what. From a guy that would leave games at Michigan State and then go watch it in the hotel, because I get annoyed by people in the stands, and sitting in the stands is worse. They always remember. He still brings it up. Because he'd look up and be like, oh, he's here for the start of the game. And then second quarter, he'd be like, oh, where'd he go? And then he knew where I went. And then at the time, he'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I understand it. But 10 years later, he still brings it up today.
Oh.
So
all right, important.
When they
detail.
say they don't care, they really care. They remember everything.
See, I think I'm on the right side of history here, Joshy. I think I'm making good choices.
You are making good choices.
Right. And now here's the thing. I think Chewy's relationship with his kids might be a little different than, say, my parents and yours. They seem to all want to get at each other a little bit. It seems just sort of how they operate.
Yes.
Like, he might not actually care, but he knows it might be one thing he has against you that he can keep poking you with.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know my parents went to everything, but I don't remember them missing or being at things like, they came when they could. They did everything they could. And it didn't matter to me. Like, Dad's got a meeting. Okay. But he was at XYZ every single time, or same for Mom. Sometimes she has to work second shift. That's just how I operated. And I think, sounds like Chase is probably at that level with you. You've done everything you can.
Listen, remember we talked about, I got folks on the YouTube stream who are doing the callback to the prom gymnastics thing. I do have an update on that. The gymnastics meet is Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Prom is, of course, Saturday night. So at least one of us will have to be in Sioux City, Iowa, Sunday morning for gymnastics. We have not yet decided if we're going to divide and conquer or if we're going to take the whole gang to Sioux City, Iowa for the gymnastics regionals. But we did get the schedule. It is not working out in my favor. I was hoping that she was competing on Friday so that we could get out there and get back and be around for the prom pictures, for that whole thing, for all of the pomp and circumstance, and then not have to worry about it. But that is not the case. It's not how it's shaking out.
How far a drive is it to Sioux City?
7.
So you go to the pictures. Pictures are probably done 5:36.
And drive all night?
You drive halfway. Stay in a hotel. She's not going to compete at 8 o'clock.
No, seriously, that's when her flight goes, 8 a.m. That's what you said. I was like, no, whatever you're about to say, we are not doing.
Yeah, because then you'd have to get up at, 3 in the morning?
So let me ask you this, guys, because I threw this out there to Dario last night, so I'll take it to the people. Should we fly? There is one flight out of O'Hare, 4 p.m., lands at 5:50 Saturday night. There's one flight out, 1 p.m. on Sunday, lands back at O'Hare at 2:30. Should we fly to Sioux City and not do the drive?
One person should fly.
What?
One person. So Dario drives. You go to the pictures. Tell them to move the pictures up to 2:30 so they can accommodate you. You go down to Chicago, fly, and then you drive back with them.
All right. I like this possible idea. The good news is I got all of the United miles, so I can use my miles, so it won't cost us anything to do it.
Yeah.
That's a huge bonus. But if there's any issue with that flight, we're screwed. If there's any delay on that flight, if we're not getting out of O'Hare, if we're sitting and we're waiting, right? We have a cutoff time of when we'd have to leave Chicago to make the drive to Sioux City, and then baby girl sleeping in the back of the Tahoe instead of in a comfy hotel room at the Doubletree.
How small of a plane would you fly in?
No, it's a regular plane.
No. I'm saying if you took one out of, say, Timberman.
Oh, I don't know.
Would you fly in a little single-engine 172?
I won't. No, absolutely not. 0% chance.
Okay.
I know.
No.
I know people who do it all the time, but the one time I take a private jet will be the one time it goes down. Why are you laughing?
Positive thinker.
All right, we got to take a break. Enough of this.
He's laughing because you so matter-of-factly said, yeah, if I get in a private jet, it's going down.
They're all the same. My wife says the exact same thing because we went to Easter brunch. It was a cool place called The Hangar, and it's right at the airport. And these little Cessna 172s are loading up, and she's like, no way in hell. I'm like, why? They work their way down. They'll be fine.
Yeah, to the ground. We had to take a break. Jason Wilde is coming up next here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We're all warmed up. We're all stretched out. A lot of stuff to get to today. All right, we have the Brewers taking on the Boston Red Sox. Did you see what happened last night with Wilson Contreras? I always get the Contreras brothers confused. I'm sorry about that. But Wilson Contreras running his mouth. Brewers popped back. We'll see how that develops as the series goes on. Giannis did an interview with Lori Nickel from the Journal Sentinel. Some very revealing information in there from Giannis. And we'll talk to Jason Wilde because I'm not sure if you've seen, but Dexter Lawrence's name is being mentioned in the NFL circles. Could that mean something for your Green Bay Packers? We'll talk about all of that as the show rolls on. Jason Wilde coming up next.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Still have this accident on 94 southbound, about a mile south of Layton Avenue. It's off on the left shoulder, so something to keep in mind through there. Broken down vehicle, 894 westbound to the Rock Freeway southbound in the Hale interchange. It's not in traffic, but you do want to keep an eye out for that one. Eastbound 94 is backed up from 70th Street all the way to 35th. Westbound slowing down right through the stadium to Mitchell Boulevard. And northbound 41 slowing just before Mayfair Road up to Burleigh. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny and chilly, a high of 35 at the lake, 41 inland tonight. A chance of rain, mostly cloudy, a low of 29. Weather's brought to you by Lake Lawn Resort. Spring is here. Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in the Geneva Lakes region. Enjoy lakeside dining, golf, spa, and more. Plan your getaway at lakelawnresort.com. Everything's better at the lake. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch, 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
She walked miles with her granddaughters every day at Disney with zero knee pain, but she couldn't have done that months ago. This all started with a visit to QC Kinetics.
We have spent the last 4 days going from park to park, walking all day long, no pain. I feel fantastic.
Here's what baffles people when they hear Kathy's story.
The doctor said, you need 2 full knee replacements. And I said, that's not going to happen. I went to QC Kinetics, started treatment that day. Within a couple of weeks, I was absolutely pain-free.
It's the kind of story that QC Kinetics hears from patients all the time.
I cannot thank QC Kinetics enough for giving me my life back. I'm active again and loving it. I'm well over a year out. I've had absolutely no pain in either knee.
Before you agree to surgery, listen to this. Think about it.
Tomorrow is Animal Kingdom, so yeah, gotta go.
Kathy's glad she took them up on the free consultation. We have one set aside for you.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
You're sitting at a red light or stuck in traffic, and your phone lights up. Maybe it's a text, a video call, a new post, or a quick notification you think you can check in a second. It feels harmless, but the truth is, once your eyes leave the road, you're not really driving anymore. And traffic doesn't pause just because you do. That split second of distraction can throw off everything. Your reaction time, your awareness, your ability to avoid someone else's mistake. You could damage your car, injure yourself, or hurt someone you care about. Or you could get pulled over for a reminder that your phone isn't worth the risk. So before you start driving, make it easy on yourself. Put your phone on silent. Toss it in the glove box. Set it to Do Not Disturb. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Your brand doesn't need more square footage.
It needs more wow.
When you work with Captivate Exhibits, trade show booths become magnets. Lobbies become living stories. Break rooms become culture builders.
Captivate creates experiences people don't just see, they feel.
For more than 30 years, their award-winning team has transformed big ideas into bold brand moments that command attention and drive results.
Stop blending in.
Start captivating.
Visit CaptivateExhibits.com.
Ready, down, put.
All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is brought to you by Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project? Exterior Pros and Baths is giving $3,000 off roofing, siding, windows, or bath remodels this month. Visit extpros.com.
Before we get down to the nitty-gritty with our pal and teammate Jason Wilde. Good morning, Jason. How are you today?
I'm great, everybody. How are you?
I saw your video of Sydney playing soccer last night. I think you posted it on Instagram. And I was at Chase's baseball game last night, freezing my tuchus off. It was 44 degrees, feels like 28 in Glendale last night. And I said, I think high school baseball might be the worst sport to watch as a fan, as a spectator in the state of Wisconsin. Would you put soccer up there? Would you put spring soccer up there with that? Or was it, more pleasant than you expected?
No, that was so she's got another game tonight. That was from last week because Instagram for me is more like later-gram by the time I get around to posting things. And so it was pouring rain for 2/3 of the game and about same temperature. I will not put anything ahead of another sport in the spring, having been a very significant part of my career and a meaningful part of my career covering high school sports. All spring sports are brutal weather-wise until you get to like the track meets. You get to the track meet in lacrosse in June in the state track meet, and that's the first time it's decent weather all spring long.
Right, and I said it's got to be spring, a spring sport, whatever it is. You're putting them all on the same platform, same level. Because in the winter, I said, yes, it's cold. Yes, I'm watching the football games in the snow potentially, but the games mean something at that point, right? Because if you're playing when it's snowing, you're in the playoffs, and that balances out the environment that you're in. All right, well, I appreciate that.
And in fairness to Chaser, swinging a baseball bat in those conditions and making contact, while there are challenges to playing soccer in that weather as well, kicking a hard, cold ball, there is nothing worse, having played spring baseball throughout my high school and youth, there's nothing worse than making what you think is very solid contact in cold weather and then feeling the reverberation and pain through your entire arms.
Like a cartoon rabbit. All right, Chew, go ahead.
Wah, 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 wah. Jason, what is their plan at backup quarterback? Are they fine with Ritter? Are they going to draft one, or are they still looking for a veteran? Because we've seen how important that position's been over the last 2 years.
Yeah, great question. And like I was saying last week, like I would love to know. I saw Diana Rossini had that the Packers had expressed an interest in Kirk Cousins. I would love to know how far that interest actually went, because I never thought Kirk Cousins was coming to Green Bay. First of all, for him, like he's smart. He's a smart guy. He should go to a place where he's most likely going to have an opportunity to play, which is exactly what he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for the Packers, like, yeah, they've got like $22 million in cap space right now. I don't see them spending $10 million on a backup quarterback with his pedigree. I just don't. Now, I'm always open to being wrong, but I thought the minute that they picked up Desmond Ritter late last season, I thought, all right, they're setting themselves up for their next reclamation project. And, I don't know enough about Kyle McCord. I know his college career a bit. But I don't think that they're in the market for other options. There was the stuff about Anthony Richardson. Again, I think agents do like to kind of prop up their guys and make it sound like there's, a lot of interest in a player. And I don't see the Packers giving up a draft pick when they only have 7 currently for this upcoming draft to get Anthony Richardson. Now, if he got released, would they explore that? Yes. Would they give up one of their draft picks in 2027 for him? I don't know about that. So I think it's, as of now, I would be surprised if they drafted a quarterback for the same reason. Like, again, maybe one of your 2 7th-round picks you're going to do that, but I don't see I see Gutey trying to trade back and accumulate more picks. Right now, if he only picked the 7 picks that he currently has, it would be the smallest class he has ever had as GM. And so I just, when you have depth issues on a team like his, I don't think you can be, I don't want to say squandering, that's what I was about to say, but I don't think you can be using even a day 3 pick on a quarterback. The idea of picking quarterbacks every single year like Ron used to, we're just in a different era with a different GM who believes in the draft and replace approach to the roster.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that draft and replace thing yesterday. I think it's a really good upgrade to the draft and develop that we have normally subscribed to in Green Bay. I'm sure you saw the information about Dexter Lawrence out there. I guess the reason the Packers name is attached to them is because there maybe was interest from the Packers at a different time, an earlier time in the timeline. But now people are wondering if the Packers should be a serious suitor for Dexter Lawrence as a trade candidate. Do you like that? Chewy was pretty adamant this morning that they don't need him.
Yeah, they definitely need help at that position. They're definitely not deep enough there. And again, Dexter Lawrence is going to turn 29 in November. I know we're starting to look at Gutey and say, who are you and what have you done with Brian Gutekunst? But he's at the tail end of what Gutey has publicly stated is, in his mind, your prime, 26 to 29. And again, for the same reason I said about the quarterbacks, like, they don't have the draft capital. And you already don't have your first-round pick. I don't know what Dexter Lawrence is going to cost. But even if it's a third or a fourth-round pick, I guess you could flip the fourth-round pick you got, surprisingly. And somebody even asked Gutey at the NFL meetings last week if he was surprised that he got a fourth-round pick for Rashawn Gary. And I don't know what the expectation was for the answer. Yeah, I can't believe Jerry Jones is such an idiot. Like, he's not worth a fourth-round pick. Like, I can't believe he did that. But you could flip that pick, right? Theoretically, if you thought Dexter Lawrence was that valuable, you could say, all right, well, we'll give you the fourth-round pick we got for Rashawn Gary, and then it becomes a Rashawn Gary for Dexter Lawrence trade. But again, I just don't see Gutey having enough draft capital currently that he would give up anything significant for Dexter Lawrence.
Well, and he wants a new deal, right? So that's always the other caveat is that
it's a double whammy.
Yeah, there it is. Chewy's good old double whammy.
Jason, what's their plan with Musgrave? Is it one more year and bye-bye, or has he shown enough to be just the backup tight end and pay him accordingly?
No, I don't think so. Like, and look, I don't know him very well. Like, he's very guarded with the media. He doesn't talk to us very often. So I'm not going to pretend like I have insight into his thought process. All I'm going to say is when Tucker Kraft goes down and they're still playing John Fitzpatrick and Josh Wiley as much or more than him, I think that tells you everything you need to know about what they think of him, right? Like, I know there's been some, I don't know if this is based on any conversations with anyone, but some speculation that, well, maybe they trade him. Maybe, again, but if I'm the Packers and I've got Dontavion Wicks in the last year of a rookie deal, I've got Luke Musgrave in the last year of a rookie deal, and I only have 7 draft picks this year, I'm keeping those cheap labor guys, and then next year I'm drafting guys. And maybe they draft another tight end this year somewhere during the 2 days that they have picks. But again, this is why I get a little bit frustrated that everyone focuses their frustration on LaFleur, and for a lot of Packers fans, Gutey gets a pass. Like, again, great pick on Tucker Kraft, right? I mean, he is turned out to be everything you hoped. My comparison of him to you has turned out to be wrong only because he's potentially going to be even better because he's still scratching the surface of what he is. But he does what you do, which was everything. The idea of Luke Musgrave was this down-the-seam, thick athlete, run after the catch, fast, gets open, all that stuff. Let's not forget he played 2 games, in his final season at Oregon State because of his injuries. And frankly, that is a miss. That is a premium draft pick. Second-round picks are premium picks, and he has not delivered on that draft status. And so my frustration is, everyone's killing LaFleur, and, we get people in the YouTube comments or calls or texts all the time. that are so critical of LaFleur. Josh DiMaggio, not a big LaFleur guy. John Anderson, not a big LaFleur guy. And it just feels like, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve criticism. I'm saying I don't understand why Gutey gets the level of passes he does, because Gutey's a good to very good GM, but let's not pretend that he's Ron Wolf here. Let's not pretend that his success rate, I mean, when Tausch and I stumbled into comparing draft picks that had an impact between Ted and Gutey, like, it is a rout for Ted. And for some reason back then, it was the GM that everybody criticized, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, I just don't quite understand it.
Well, the disheartening thing is, Jason, because he has all the tools. Like, you can kind of see what Gutey was thinking. I mean, he's long, lean, fast.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you, and I played with guys like that were like physical studs. But if you cannot process quick enough in your brain, which clearly he cannot, I don't care if you run a 4-1. You can't play. And I think that's what we've seen from him. It would have been nice to see him or the coaching staff develop him, but in talking to you, it sounds like once they give up on a guy, kind of over.
Yeah, I don't want to go so far as to say they've given up on him. I think that, my issue is when you get into year 4, very rarely are you something that you're not already. Like, you kind of are what you are, right? Unless you missed a bunch of time with injuries. And look, in fairness to him, he did, right? Like, his second year was derailed by that ankle injury. He missed 10 games. The previous year, he opened the door for Kraft when he ruptured his spleen or his kidney or whatever it was. And so I don't know if maybe he's a guy that this year, maybe the light finally goes on. But to your point about processing, like, again, I don't know him well enough to ever have discussed that with him. And I'm not sure what he would say if I did, but like, he's just, the one thing is that you would think the more you see, the more quickly you could start to process things, right?
Yeah.
And he has, in fairness to him, missed a big chunk of the second half of his rookie year, missed a huge portion of his second year. And then last year, like, he went from being this guy that everybody was – remember, I'll never forget this. Everyone was talking about how fast he was running when he was being timed playing football, right, during practices, during his first training camp. And it was like he peaked, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then he had, like, the falling down Bambi falling on the frozen pond play in Chicago. And then he kind of has just been persona non grata since then. So I'm curious to see if he can do something that a lot of players don't, which is suddenly explode in year 4. Because if he does, that changes the dynamic of that offense in a huge way.
Well, let me ask about one similar guy. Is Marshawn Lloyd on his last leg?
I mean, he's been with all the injuries he's had to his legs, he's been on his last leg for quite a while.
Yeah.
Again, I think that and I'm not saying that the RAS score stuff is not a good judge of athleticism. It obviously is. And Gutey, my favorite from last year was, well, we don't use that. Yeah, you have your own version of it. You just don't call it that. But, like, think about Quay Walker, right? Incredible on that, but processing, a question mark.
Yeah.
You just said about Luke Musgrave. The problem with Marshawn Lloyd is, I mean, we have literally seen him play in one regular season game in which he got hurt in that one. Like, he is heading into his third NFL season having played in one of a possible 36 football games, including playoffs. Like, how can you possibly count on him to be anything? But you're right. The fact that they let Emmanuel Wilson walk for pennies on the dollar and that he ended up in Seattle where they've got like 9 guys vying to replace Kenneth Walker III. Like, it's not like he got some sort of blockbuster deal where he's going to be the starter somewhere else. Like, the fact that they let him walk tells me that they at least are crossing their fingers and hoping, which is not a strategy, that Marshawn Lloyd's going to be able to be a guy for them.
Jason, we appreciate your perspective as always. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again pretty soon.
All right, everybody. Take care. Be good.
He's Jason Wilde. You can hear him on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every morning here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I want to dive into this Dexter Lawrence thing because I am seeing Packers fans and Packers bloggers who are trying to make it work, trying to make the financials work. We'll get into that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Oh, we've got a crash. It is on 94 southbound, just past Layton Avenue, just before the airport spur. We got the left shoulder blocked. Watch out for that. But the delays are not too bad heading past that scene. Where we are seeing more delays is on the Rock Freeway northbound from Highway 100 into the Hale, and then again from Forest Home all the way past Loomis. On eastbound 94, backing up from just before 70th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange at 35th, westbound 35th to Hawley Road. Northbound 41 is backing up as usual from Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh. And then we've got, southbound 43 right about at North Avenue. We've got a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder. Luckily, not in traffic, although volume is definitely picking up. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and chilly, a high of 35 at the lake, 41 inland. Tonight, chance for rain, mostly cloudy, a low of 29. Rates change, needs change. Great Midwest Bank can help you explore a refinance that better fits where you are today. Visit greatmidwestbank.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait, this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Win big with Quick Trip's Red Zone Midwest Tour. You could drive away in a 2026 Chevrolet Traverse Z71. Want in? Stop into Quick Trip. Purchase any qualifying fried chicken or Coca-Cola product with Quick Rewards and you're automatically entered. Want to boost your odds? Grab both in the same stop and you'll score 5 bonus entries. Full details at QuickTrip.com/Red Tour. Delicious chicken, ice cold Coca-Cola, and one incredible ride. Quick Trip's Red Zone Midwest Tour.
If you're responsible for how money moves through your business, you won't want to miss this. Fifth Third Bank invites business owners, CFOs, controllers, and finance leaders to join us Tuesday, April 28th at St. Kate for a special event focused on the future of automated payables, integrated receivables, and modern cash management. Hear from industry experts on the latest technology, trends, and strategies, helping businesses improve efficiency, strengthen controls, and accelerate cash flow. Reserve your spot today by emailing rsvpmilwaukee@53.com. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Put Brewers weekends back on your schedule when the Crew take on the Nationals April 10th through the 12th. Collect a new Mish trading card bobblehead for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 11th, courtesy of Toyota. Then reserve Sunday for a full day of family fun. Kids can run the bases, get autographs, and the first 5,000 kids get a Brewers wiffle ball set, courtesy of Joy. Plus, it's a kids cheer free Sunday. Grab your seat at brewers.com/tickets.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Again, look, give the guy credit for consistency.
I love it. I love balls.
Every time Giannis
Wish I had
challenges
more.
him to,
Right, can we make sure we
Well, you don't
just
need to
will
beat
for
that.
future reference, just clip that, save it.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. If you missed any of our conversation with Jason Wilde, you can always find it on the ESPN Wisconsin app. That's where we put all of the brilliance that Jason Wilde shares with us. So the Dexter Lawrence thing is interesting for some Packers fans as they want Brian Gutekunst and company to upgrade the defensive line. But I do think that this is one of those complicated situations, Chew, because I believe it was Jeremy Fowler, it might have been somebody else at ESPN who said that the trade for Dexter Lawrence would probably cost a team a late first rounder or a second rounder. Obviously, we all know Green Bay does not have a first round pick in this draft. So let's bump it to the second rounder. Would Gutey be willing to give up a second round pick to get Dexter Lawrence? You might have to throw in a wide receiver as well, since that's what the Giants need. Meanwhile, over in the Meadowlands, you've got John Harbaugh, who wants to upgrade his own defensive line. Would he even be willing to part with a disgruntled member of his defensive line that could theoretically be a cornerstone for them going forward? To me, I got to be honest, too, this feels like a nothing burger when it comes to Green Bay potentially getting Dexter Lawrence. Is that how you see it as well?
Yeah, not happening. I mean, there's a possibility it would have happened if they didn't get Hargrove, but number one, they're not going to do the double whammy if they don't have to, and they don't have to. I look at the D line now kind of the same way I look at the offensive line. And you heard, I mean, we had Brian Balaga on the show probably a month ago, and I agree with him. You can't pay everyone on the offensive line or defensive line. I mean, you're paying essentially Micah Parsons like a quarterback, a gobs of money. You're going to have to pay Wyatt if they decide to keep him. I mean, it won't be ungodly, but it's going to be probably close to 20 based upon what D linemen get. And then Dexter Lawrence is going to want a new deal, and he may be north of 20. So I think they're set on the defensive line. They just have to work on depth like the offensive line. But now it's time, if they are going to do anything, and my guess is they're going to do it with the first pick in the draft, is you have to address corner. Because there are no superstars. You have solid players. But once again, I mean, the kid they picked up from San Diego, he's not a starter. He's kind of a Nate Hobbs question mark, So if you lose your best corner's Keyshawn, if he goes down, then you're in a little bit of soup. So my guess is that's the position. I mean, the fact that they did clear cap space is a little interesting, and I think Jason said it was $22 million, but I would be absolutely shocked if they spend it on Lawrence.
There is a feature on ESPN.com, Chew, where you can predict the draft, if you will. It's the ESPN the ESPN Draft Predictor, and it basically takes into account what teams' needs are, what direction they might be going, and then where your team picks. And for whatever it's worth, the Draft Predictor has a number of names popping up for it. It has D'Angelo Pons from Indiana, the swift but small cornerback that you saw in the national championship game. And I think he had a pretty good pro day, if I'm remembering what I saw on social correctly. But that is the only corner that they have listed right now. Could Green Bay, grab a guy who is projected to go later in the draft at that second round pick? Of course, yes, but you don't want to do that as often. But as far as guys who are projected to go around where the Packers pick, they have defensive tackle Christian Miller from Georgia, running back Jadarian Price. That's the other kid from Notre Dame, Chew. I know that Jeremiah Love gets a lot of attention, obviously, but Jadarian Price was pretty dang good as well. Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon, he's a guard. And then edge rusher Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. Those are some names that are being projected to where the Packers are picking. Pons is the only cornerback, as I mentioned, on that list. Do you like Pons? You remember watching him in the run to the national championship?
Yeah, he's a little small for corner. I mean, they just need someone. They need someone not to come in and start, but definitely to come in and play. Because that was a weakness, and we thought it was going to be a weakness at the beginning of the year. So they definitely need to do something there. I don't know who's out there on the street or is, a disgruntled player at cornerback looking to move teams. But, I mean, that right now is a big concern for me. I mean, the rest of it is just depth. They're not going to take a running back with that second pick there. I think they're going to give Marshawn Lloyd one more shot to prove he can be that number 2. But all the other positions, you're essentially just looking at depth, offensive line, defensive line. I think they could use, another outside edge rusher. But my guess is they might wind up carpet bombing
at that position
just to find somebody
at cornerback. So I was thinking about this because you mentioned that D'Angelo Pons, it feels like he's an undersized guy. I think they have him listed at 5'9", but we talked about, we think that Jonathan Gannon in nickel is going to go 3 safeties, right? So I feel like you want, and again, this is just me, I think you want bigger bodied guys out there at the corner position in case you have to go up against some of these bigger bodied receivers or these tight ends who are productive in the league. Am I wrong in that? Is that a bad philosophy by me?
Well, I think he likes to go safeties because there's still run support. Your safeties are better tacklers than your corner. And I said back in the day when they would have to make a decision when me and Keith came into the game. You either play base, your normal defense for run support, or you go to nickel. And a lot of times they would bring in a safety just because you're a little better against the run with a safety as opposed to a corner, because corners don't tackle anybody. Joshy, have you done your deep dive on the draft yet or no?
Ooh, I turned my mic down. I've started to. Pons
do you know anything about
fit,
this Pons?
He doesn't fit the Packers' thresholds. Now that doesn't mean
that's what I thought. That
doesn't mean they're absolutely not going to draft him, because sometimes they do.
Is that just size though? Because I think he ran a 4.3.
Yes, it's size. Yeah. Their size is typically over 5'10", 190 pounds, but they have in certain instances done it if they really believe in a guy's talent. Like, it doesn't absolutely eliminate them, but it makes it less likely than some of the other guys in that range. So. I don't know what to make of this interest. It's only been really rumored. It's not been confirmed for the Dexter Lawrence thing. The thing with Dexter Lawrence is he's 28 years old. He's owed $20 million. He wants a new contract. Is he really part of the future of the New York Giants? Like, what's their rebuild plan? Do they think they're going to be competing next year? I think that'd be foolish to go operate that way. You also have to factor in, we sent a thank you letter to Joe Shane for how bad he was. When he let Xavier McKinney and Saquon Barkley go. Like, there's a potential here. You get a guy for below cost. You sign him to an extension that gives him more guaranteed money but lessens his cap hit, and then you're in a pretty advantageous situation. I do find it interesting, and you guys aren't the only ones doing it, but it's the same exact thing we said about Micah Parsons. No double whammy. It doesn't make sense to give up draft picks, and I don't know where Gutey is. Because so far, he's done things that I didn't expect him to do. He added over 30-year-old players, which was a break from trends. He traded draft picks and then signed an extension for Micah Parsons. Like, all this stuff seems to be a pivot in his approach.
But I'm not sure you can do that on the defensive line again. I feel like you have to spread the wealth around when it comes to the way that you attack. Is there another position on the field? And I don't think it's cornerback, but is there another impactful position on the field where you would use that same approach as opposed to doing it on the defensive line as well? I will also tell you this. You mentioned Joe Shane. I thought I read about the Giants that there was a power struggle, or not struggle is the wrong word, power structure change in that Harbaugh is making more personnel decisions now than Shane is, and that Harbaugh has requested that he report directly to the Mara family, the owners, as opposed to, now I'm not sure if all of that was confirmed or if it was just more of rumors, but I wonder if Harbaugh is taking the reins on this roster construction in with the Giants and what that would mean for Dexter Lawrence's future as well.
He certainly could. I guess I don't know how it works. I also know they had to transfer the team ownership because the team owner of the Giants was embroiled in some unsavory things. The thing to me is, if the Packers are all in and Gutey's changing his approach, why wouldn't you add a veteran who can move the pocket that way and be a run stuffer? You have the money to do it. Losing a second-round pick for a proven talent is much less of a gamble, and you feel pretty good at other positions. Like, where's the glaring need on the Packers roster? We could all say corner because we don't like the guys they have, but haven't the Packers told us at every entry
that they do?
They like the guys that they have. Like that's the part that confuses me, because I would say, it would make a lot of sense to draft a cornerback in the second round because you definitely need to get better at that position. But every time they add in the margins and go, yep, we've added competition, and the best guys are going to get more playing time.
Well, Gannon's best year coaching, don't forget, he had a solid front four where they had a ton of sacks in Philadelphia. So he wants a front four to create havoc and not have to blitz anyone. And the wild card, because right now they're solid. You know, Wyatt's solid. Hargrave's a little up there in years. And, of course, you got Micah. The wild card is Lucas Van Ness. If he can't, because he's going to be single blocked. We all know what they're going to do with Micah. They're thinking maybe they can collapse the pocket from the interior with those two players. But if Van Ness can't get home being single blocked, then you can't sit back and not blitz. So he's kind of the wild card, but I don't see Gutey doing the trade and pay. It's just not his MO.
Reaction rolling in on the YouTube stream this morning. Captain Matty Ice says an elite defensive line would make the cornerbacks better. That's true. Mm-hmm. He says, they're probably not going to trade him, but with the Parsons trade, we cannot say never anymore. And I think that's the point that Joshy is also making. FMJ also says, send them Reed and a second. Hargrave and Wyatt will be a very solid duo, in my opinion. Adding Lawrence would just make it elite. 800-990-3776. You like the conversation about Dexter Lawrence and if the Packers might be interested in that? I think you bring up a good point about Jonathan Gannon and the way he structures his defenses. Lots of good stuff there. I still think I don't see it as a move the Packers would make, but to Joshy's point, once they make the Micah Parsons move, you can't say that it's out of the realm of possibility. We got a lot of stuff to get to. It looks like Shams has posted an article on ESPN.com with some more information on the Giannis situation with your Milwaukee Bucks. We'll get into that and more as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on. Infinity Exteriors handles our Twitter poll. Refresh your home with roofing, siding, or windows, all backed by their lifetime workmanship warranty. InfinityExteriors.com. And as you guys know, we love having Professional Construction Inc. help us with our home projects. My husband and I are not the most handy people. We can handle the little things, but the big things, we rely on our friends over at PCI. We have to do a bathroom remodel. It's not great. We're not excited about it. There's a leak and we have to rip up all the tile. But you know what we did? We called our friends at PCI because our friends at PCI have this thing called the Virtual Interior Design Program. And what that means is they can take some pictures of our bathroom and give us some renderings that show us what it could look like. Photorealistic renderings that show us what it could look like with new fixtures, new flooring, a new tub, all of that stuff. And it is all delivered directly to us. And you can use it as well. Learn more at ProfessionalConstructionInc.com. It's ProfessionalConstructionInc.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
At Junior Achievement, students learn how innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship can turn a simple idea into something that changes an industry. With support from Koss Corporation, students are discovering how engineering, product design, and smart marketing bring great ideas to life. From pioneering studio headphones to building a brand recognized around the world, Koss shows students how technology and creativity shape the way we experience music. Learn more at ja.org.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist. Roll out.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Evan Cohen here. Did you know the average employer sorts through about 250 resumes for one job opening? That's a lot of time reviewing applications. Well, if you're hiring, here's good news. You can now review resumes and applications faster thanks to ZipRecruiter. With ZipRecruiter's new feature, qualified candidates who are very interested in your job show up at the top of your list. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering no interest until the year 2030. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2026.
Smalls here. Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year 1 needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, they've seen it all. And they're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, ride a bike at the nation's largest bike sale. I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket, and our Bike Expo sale is back at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds this weekend inside the Expo building. Electric bikes, road bikes, cargo bikes, mountain bikes, kid bikes, hybrid bikes, all on display and ready to ride. So whether you're seeking health and wellness, adventure and fun, or just a new hobby, the path to your new journey leads to the Bike Expo sale. And remember, all of our bikes come with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee, which means you can ride it for 30 days. And if you don't love it, we'll refund your money.
Find it, buy it, ride it. Find it, buy it, ride it.
Find a bike, buy a bike, ride a bike. Friday noon to 8, Saturday 10 to 8, and Sunday 11 to 5 inside the Expo Center. Visit bikeexposale.com for details. Admission is free.
Life is short. We'll see you at the Bike Expo.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Do we need to name your pink computer?
2 in the...
Well, here's the problem.
Oh,
Why
would
you
stop
do that?
Right, come on. It is 7:09. It's a new
You wanna
year,
call
new
his
me type of thing.
What? I
Nobody believes that.
What? You could, I'm not the one that made the vagina joke.
Here we go. Jen's back.
On 94.5 ESPN.
If you're buying or selling or building a new home, Great Midwest Bank wants to help. Great Midwest Bank has taken care of us in the time we've been here in Wisconsin. Give us all the best options so when you're ready for that next big life decision, you can get fast and flexible mortgage pre-approvals straight from Great Midwest Bank's experienced and most importantly, local loan officers. From start to finish, you can bank with confidence. Great Midwest Bank is your simply local equal housing lender. See all of their customizable products at greatmidwestbank.com. Morse chew. It's like Morse code, huh? Well, that's Morse, just so everybody's
What did you combine? Most and...
I don't even know. So what happens is during the breaks, I try to house my sandwich, my breakfast Sammy, and sometimes I don't give enough time between the last swallow and the first word. And then I'm navigating the old egg and bacon and bagel situation we have over here while I'm trying to get through the read. You want to do the rest of these for me today? I got a handful of them. I could send them over your way.
I'm solid. Josh, you might want to do them, though.
She's
no,
like,
Josh?
no, I don't think I will. If Joshy takes them, then we won't get gems like Morst. Right, Josh?
Get gems.
Yeah, I'm the professional in the building here. Everyone knows that about me.
That's right.
My reading on the radio is impeccable.
Try singing it next time, Jen. It's a lot easier.
Is it a lot easier? I feel like
I think so.
Carrying a tune, just generally speaking, is hard.
Do you guys know how to read music?
No.
Have
you?
Josh? No.
All right,
well, a good combo.
Makes us all idiots then. That is a unique and special skill, though. I am envious of people who can read music, who can play instruments, who can sing well. Doesn't stop me from singing. It just, I recognize that it's not being done well. I'm okay with it.
Well, knowing your limit, you know your limitations. That's good.
All right, listen. Sham Sharani has put out an article, Chew, on ESPN.com. We sent it over to you. I'm not sure if you gotten a chance to spin around, but definitely worth taking a look at because it does feel like there is more information about how we got to where we are with Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. We will dive into that, plus his conversation with Lori Nickel after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We have a crash northbound 4394 just north of Holt Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked. We got backups all the way back through the Plainfield curve almost to the Mitchell interchange. Speaking of the Mitchell interchange, westbound 894 is backing up from the Mitchell interchange past Loomis. Eastbound slowing down from Highway 100 through the Hale interchange all the way to Loomis as well. Eastbound 94, watch for backups heading from about 84th Street all the way through to about 35th. And southbound 43, a heavy ride from just before Hampton all the way down to Locust. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and chilly, a high of 35 at the lake, 41 inland. Tonight, chance for rain, mostly cloudy, a low of 29. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Take it home this April at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. $300,000 is on the line, and you're at bat to win your share. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your April drawing entries all count toward another prize drawing in June. It's the Base Race Game Show. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Calidora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
This is Wisconsin basketball head coach Greg Gard. This is 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD2, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Let me just give you how I have interpreted what has happened in the last 24 hours with regards to the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo sat down with Lori Nickel from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, a long-time, well-respected, hard-working reporter here in Milwaukee who knows her stuff. Lori asked questions. Giannis gave answers. It's a very interesting read. If you haven't gotten a chance to do so, I highly encourage you to do so. There were some takeaways that have been aggregated and pushed out on social media platforms. And as is always the case with that, I think it's a Rorschach test for whatever you believe to be the reality, the truth in a situation. So what do I mean by that? So when I see people say, Giannis believes there is a way back with the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis still wants to be a Buck and wants to, I say, oh, great, that sounds awesome. And if I were a Milwaukee Bucks fan who wanted Giannis to be a Milwaukee Buck forever till the end of his playing career, I would also hone in on that. But then there's the next line where he does what he did with Eric Name when Eric Name spoke with him several months ago and asks the reporter, do you see that? Do you see that happening? For instance, Giannis wants to win. He wants to make sure that the Bucks are competitive. He wants to make sure they are putting a competitive team on the floor. And then he turns the question on the reporter and says, you've been here a long time. Do you see that happening here? And then the reporter is forced to answer that question, with their own various perspective. This morning, Shams Charania has put out an article that gives even more insight, even more detail about some of the conversations that he says, his sources say, took place between Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. Biggest takeaway from the Shams article, for those who haven't gotten a chance to read that yet, is that yes, Giannis was aware that the Bucks were going to shop him, that at times during this process, even headed into the trade deadline, Giannis approved or encouraged him being shopped to other teams, essentially saying, it is time. Like the monkey from The Lion King, Rafiki. It is time. So, Chew, when all of this starts happening and Giannis is getting his point of view put out there and the Bucks are potentially or theoretically getting their point of view put out there, how do you figure out where the truth lies?
Well, I think Giannis likes to do a walk back a lot of times after certain articles or after certain information comes out. This is what I think is in Giannis's head. Just based upon Shams's article in Laurie's, I just think the guy wants everyone to love him, and he doesn't understand the situation that at the end of the day, because I think he wants to move on, which was said, not everyone's going to love you. Everyone loved you 4 years ago, 3 years ago. But when this whole trade stuff comes, you started to lose people. And you're going to lose people. You will always have your solids. There will always be a percentage of Bucks fans that absolutely love you. You can do no wrong, which is great. And I'm kind of in that group. I'm like, good luck to you. When you play the Bucks, though, I'm not going to want you to win. I want you to be successful somewhere else. But there's going to be a percentage, and we're seeing it right now, that aren't going to like you. And I think that bothers him. And I think that's why he says things or we hear things behind closed doors that are total contradictory to what he's saying in Laurie's article. So I don't know if because I went through an era with Brett where Brett had yes men around him. All he had was people to tell him yes, yes, yes to bad ideas. I think Giannis may have the same. No one is sitting down with him and saying, look, you're going to lose some fans. They're not going to like you. That's just a part of life in what you're doing. Now, there will be a percentage, like I said, that do like you, but you have to accept the fact that not everyone's going to like you now. And I think he struggles with that because I think deep down he does love Milwaukee. He loves the people here, but and I don't fault him. The guy just wants to win. He doesn't see it here, so he's ready to move on. But I just don't think he's being realistic on what's going to happen eventually when this does go down.
I think it's important here that in this article there are direct claims that say Giannis had requested a trade from the Milwaukee Bucks prior to the February 5th trade deadline. He was prepared to be moved. He declined to publicize a trade request, but made it clear to all parties involved behind the scenes that he felt both sides needed to move on immediately as the franchise was not in position to compete. Which I think lends a lot of credence to all the stuff we've been hearing for a long time, starting in the offseason when he also requested a trade to the Knicks and only the Knicks. And now this has gotten to a point where it seems like the relationship cannot be fixed. And I don't know when the Bucks finally decided that it was at the point, or Giannis did, but it is at an impasse. And it seems like if you're holding out hope for Giannis to remain a Milwaukee Buck, you can pretty much kiss that all goodbye. If you still have that in you. I certainly have thought for a while it was done. I've thought that way since the trade deadline. But I do think it's important to realize, this is very real, and you can point fingers at who you want. Have the Bucks always done right by Giannis? I'm sure not at every cross. I'm sure there's instances you can point to. But a lot of this has to do with the fact that he does a lot of the doublespeak.
Yes.
Speaks out of both sides of his mouth at times, and that he was unwilling to publicly request a trade, which would have moved things forward. And I think would also many Bucks fans would have said, I get it. You brought us a championship. We look forward to enshrining you, putting a statue up for you, but things do just come to an end sometimes. But now it's gotten to the point with the back and forth and the he said, she said, did he actually say that? Are they just saying that because they don't like Milwaukee and don't want him here? Now it's gotten to a point where I think more people have turned on him than they would have if he would have just come out and said, I want to be traded.
To the public, to the fans.
Yes.
Because, again, this Shams article is contending that he and his representation, and that's the other thing I want to touch on before. When I have these conversations, there are times when it's like, did Giannis say it? But did Giannis say it? Or was it his agent? Because he has said he can't control what his agent... Look, man, if you're not in lockstep with your agent, you fire your agent. If your agent steps out of line and does things behind your back that you don't approve of, you fire that person. I don't care how loyal you are. And so whether the conversation was Giannis and the front office of the Bucks, or Giannis's agent and the front office of the Bucks, or Giannis and his agent and the front office of the Bucks, the report is that these conversations took place. And if you read the new Shams article, which is sourced, of course, it indicates that this was multiple times. There were multiple conversations, even going so far as to saying that I believe Giannis and his camp spoke with, why is my brain escaping me now? Haslam. My brain was like, you don't want to talk about Haslam, but yeah, it's Haslam. I understand that the interpretation is that you have to be a bad guy or a good guy. And I'm trying to reject that premise. I don't think anyone here thinks that Giannis is a bad guy. I think he's in a complicated situation where there are a few things that drive his decisions. Family, certainly, and Lori Nickel makes that very clear in the conversation she has with Giannis and in the subsequent interviews that she has done on this matter. And wanting to win, wanting to succeed, wanting to win another title. You know, we posted a video a few months ago of me saying he doesn't want to have regret. And we got a lot of blowback on it. And Giannis is in this article saying, is it bad for me saying I'm 31 years old, I won the championship when I was 26 years old? Then the question creeps in your head like, did I wait too long? Did I do the right thing? Right? He's wrestling with this. I want to win another title. Can I do it in Milwaukee? According to reports, there have been times or moments where he has looked around at the landscape and thought, no, it's not possible. And therefore, I have to do the tough thing, which is to have a conversation with my bosses and say, it's time to move on, or it might be time to move on. And that, I know a lot of people point to that tweet, I'm not leaving. I'm not bleeping leaving, as though Giannis was never hoping to leave or never wanted to leave, because that's what you want to believe. You want to believe that he has always wanted to be here. But Chu, I think that we have seen enough now to know that he has gotten to that tough spot and recognized that it would be very difficult to do that here under the constraints that this Bucks team has.
Yeah, I just go back to what Joshy said. He's not a bad guy, okay? But he does speak out of both sides of his mouth. And in the Shams article, we're getting kind of the organization's side of it and what was said. You know, I mean, there's been a number of instances if Giannis just came out and just gave a blanket statement and said, no, this is not true, or yes, I did ask for a trade. I can't. He just walks back too much stuff. And I don't have a rub against the Bucks at all. I think they've handled this perfectly, right? You have to protect your asset, and if your asset wants to leave, then you have to do everything you have to do to maximize moving on from him. Like, he cannot start the season next year if he has not signed that contract without being traded. And I think we heard that a couple weeks ago. Who said it? It's like someone in the organization said he's either signing the Supermax or he's going to be traded.
Which, again, was not breaking news, right? That's not.
I know, but
news.
As harsh as that may sound, you have to do that.
Correct.
You have to protect your asset.
It's important, though, that we all treated that not as breaking news, but Giannis then told Lori Nickel it was a slap in the face.
Correct.
It's not a
so
yeah,
when
he just doesn't understand. Stop. I'm sorry.
I guess I understand where he's coming from insofar as I've done so much for this team and you're going to go publicly with that. But yeah, that's the obvious thing. But clearly he took offense to that. And that matters to me in terms of how this is, where they are right now. Like, it's gotten absolutely toxic, and it seems unmendable. The only fix here is moving on from Giannis.
Yeah, because he's not going to sign the Supermax. And he's going to do the dance. Well, I'm not going to sign it now. I have until October, whatever. No, you cannot do that, because if he gets to that point and doesn't sign it, plays out the rest of next year, gets hurt, sits out, he's gone, and you get nothing. There are no compensatory picks in the NBA like there is for football, is there?
Not to my
Josh?
knowledge. No.
So you're gone. You're out. You get nothing. You get nothing. You can't do that. I'm sorry. If he doesn't understand business, that's on him.
I do like this response from Captain Matty Ice in the YouTube stream. Remember, you can always weigh in on any conversation in the YouTube stream. Always interesting to see what side of the aisle people fall on. But he says he probably does want to be here, but knows it is time. Man, if that doesn't succinctly and accurately, in my opinion, articulate where we are with Giannis. Does Giannis want to leave? This is like asking a woman who gets a divorce. Did you want to divorce? No, I wanted him to do the laundry and be available and do all of these things and emotionally supportive and all of that stuff, but he wasn't. So we had to get divorced. Did I want to get a divorce? No, I wanted a happy marriage. I wanted the picture perfect thing, but it didn't work out that way. So I made a tough decision, right? People do that every single day. To me, I think that is a very succinct and accurate way of summing up where Giannis is emotionally and mentally in this thing. I do think he wants to be here.
Yeah.
But I think he has looked around and said, for this reason, that reason, and this reason, I don't think it's going to happen here. And therefore, we have to make a move. But because he hasn't said it publicly, to your point, Shu, there is obviously a lot of consternation and confusion potentially with some of the people who have been following this. And it is very, very easy to blame the reporter who is bringing information. If I had to guess, guys, I would say that Sham's sources are coming from inside the Bucks organization. That'd be my guess, based on just the tenor and the direction that a lot of these reports take. That's my guess.
He does say as much. He doesn't give the name, but he does say that someone with a source with a team. He does feature a few of those. I mean, it seems like both sides have given him a little something on each of these based on the way the quotes are and who the information is coming from. It sure seems like everybody has had a hand in this article, and it seems like both are sort of talking now. I think it's finally reached a head. And the Bucks obviously have incentive because Giannis has now spoken to all of the media very publicly about his feelings. So, of course, there's going to be like we saw this happen with Aaron Rodgers. One side says something, the other responds, and we kind of go back and forth.
We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We got Power Rankings with Chewy coming up next. But I want to tell you about my friends over at Potawatomi Sportsbook because it is the best place to catch a game. Oh, there was a doozy of a game going on last night, and I bet you the Potawatomi Sportsbook was absolutely jammed. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cold drinks, luxury seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. More information available online. You must be 21 years old to enter the casino.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
43 southbound's got some backups from Silver Spring all the way down towards Locust. On the northbound side of 4394, we got backups coming out of the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield curve up towards Oklahoma Avenue. There is a crash right about at Holt Avenue off on the right shoulder. We've got northbound 41 backing up from about Watertown Plank Road up to Burleigh, and then on the southbound side slowing down from just south of Main Street all the way down to Appleton Avenue. Eastbound 894 backing up out of the Hale interchange all the way past Loomis. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and chilly, a high of 35 at the lake, 41 inland. Tonight, chance for rain, mostly cloudy, a low of 29. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play over 2,000 courses, including that famous one with the Green Jackets. Book your bay at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, your clean water partner, serving greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking to escape the cold or take a midday break? Get your game on at Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, where it's always golf season. Play more than 2,000 courses, including over 50 right here in Wisconsin. And even that famous course where they hand out green jackets. Top tech simulators, great food, and the best Bloody Marys around. This is your year-round slice of summer. Bays start at just $35 an hour, Monday through Friday. Book your bay today at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm saying if we collectively, all the people in their cars, all the people listening on the YouTube stream, all the people listening this morning, if we all do it together, there's power in prayer, friends.
Yes, there is. Bless me, Father, for I played man.
On 94.5 ESPN. It's Chewy's favorite segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Did you catch the game last night? Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
What do we got, Chew?
Okay, last week we had the biggest busts in the draft for the Green Bay Packers. This week, and this article came out April 22nd, 2025 from Cheesehead TV. I want you to give me the top 10 best draft picks from the Green Bay Packers since the year 2000. Now, this is any round. Any round. You know all the names well. That's why I will give you 12 to get 9. And we'll see if you fall for the bait.
9. Yeesh.
We'll see if you
9
fall
of 10. We get 3 strikes.
The bait. Okay.
The bait. Well, Aaron Rodgers has to be on this list. You said since 2000, right?
2000. Aaron Rodgers is number 1. Obviously, he was a first-round pick.
David Bakhtiari.
David Bakhtiari is number 5. He was a 4th-round pick.
Okay. I feel like Devontae Adams should be on this list as a potential future Hall of Famer.
Devante is number 2. He was a 2nd-round pick.
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy is number 6. He was a 2nd-round pick.
Nick Collins. Final answer.
Nick Collins is number 8. He was a 2nd-round pick.
Jair Alexander.
Jair Alexander, not on the list.
What?
Not on the list.
Okay,
You got
okay,
2 more
okay.
misses.
Who have we said so far, Chu?
You've got A-Rod number 1. You got Devante 2. You got Bach 5. Jordy 6. And Nick Collins 8.
Okay. If Jordy's on this list, I got to think Greg Jennings is on this list.
Greg Jennings is number 9. He was a 2nd-round pick.
Okay, all right.
What do we think about one of the guards, like a Josh Sitton?
I think that's a good direction. We got to go some offensive line.
But also,
like
we got
Josh-
an obvious one here. Jordan Love, right? They got to put the quarterback.
This is from last year. Top 10. How many more spots do we have?
You have 1, 2, 3, 4 more spots with 2 more misses.
I'll just go Josh Sitton first.
Okay. Feel better about
Josh Sitton is number 7th on the list. He was a 4th-round pick.
that? Okay. Feel good about that. How do you feel about Clay Matthews on the list?
I think it's a good one. Now, I don't know if they factored in the fact that they traded up for him, but he was a perennial Pro Bowler. Helped them win a Super Bowl.
Mama call him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay is number 3 on the list.
Okay,
He was
okay,
a
okay,
first-round
okay.
pick.
We are doing really well on this list.
So all you got to get is 1 more.
Ooh, okay. Do you feel like you want to use the Jordan Love guess on the 9th one that we need?
I mean, we can burn one here.
Yeah, let's burn it.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love was the bait. He is not on the list.
The bait? Oh, because you said you baited us.
I said don't fall for the bait.
I wasn't, so when I thought of that, the first thing that came to mind was Donald Driver, because obviously 7th-round pick that ended up being one of the all-time greats in Packers history. He was drafted pre-2000.
99.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I wasn't sure.
99. So you got 1 more.
Could it be his Josh Sitton's battery mate, TJ Lang?
Oh, I like TJ Lang. Is there
Could it-
anybody else we're missing from like further back though? 2000?
I mean, I'm sure
Like Tausch was pre-2000, right?
Tausch would be. I mean, he ended up as a longtime player for the Packers.
But was he pre-2000?
I don't know.
What year was Tausch drafted? I feel like we should know this.
2000. I think he was 2000 or 2001.
Okay. All right. I mean, when you look at that offensive line, was Tausch considered better than Clifton?
Yeah, but no. Cliffy was also a 1st-round pick, I believe, right?
A 2nd-round pick? Why is this last one stumping us?
I think TJ Lang would be a good guess.
It's our only. It's our
Because
last
I don't
miss.
know how much definitively better he was than Josh Sitton, who is on the list. What number are we
As
missing?
we're sitting here debating offensive linemen between
missing
TJ Lang
4
and
and you're
Mark
missing
Tauscher,
4 and 10.
is there any other position we could go to?
Randall Cobb would be an option there.
No, don't love it.
I'm thinking.
Any running backs? Would Aaron Jones work?
Aaron Jones would. Oh, I think you might have nailed it.
Aaron Jones?
Probably Aaron Jones.
Again, that's not saying that these guys aren't on the list. It's just saying that we need
Jones,
one.
Aaron Jones, yeah.
Okay.
I think you got to say that.
We like Aaron Jones for our guess to get 9.
Damn it. Aaron Jones, number 10 on the list.
Okay,
he was
okay.
the 5th round pick.
Now, again, that doesn't mean that these
4.
other guys.
You're just missing 4.
See, I don't know if TJ Lang would be on there then.
Well, now that we've won, go ahead and guess TJ Lang, and let's see if he's the last one on the list.
I don't think it is, but TJ Lang.
Chad Clifton, number 4, 2nd round pick.
All right.
So you guys got it by the skin of your teeth.
I'm going to. Again.
Was that fair, though? Was that list? You think anyone's out of place?
Well, he
You
said
got
Jordan
A-Rod,
Love, but again, until Jordan Love wins some more playoff games, I feel like.
But A-Rod won, Devontae, Clay, Clifton.
Can you put your microphone closer to your mouth, please?
What are you saying?
Just talking into a cave over there.
Should Bakhtiari be in front of Clifton?
I probably think so when you go from. But the thing is, his career was shortened and kind of disappointing towards the end. But a 4th round pick being that good. I mean, even if it was just 3-4 years.
Yeah, but it was,
right. Like he was the best of the best
until he got hurt. Mark Tauscher selected by the Green Bay Packers in the 2000 NFL Draft in the 7th round, 224.
Should Jordy have been higher than 6?
No, I think that feels fair.
That's fair. You didn't like Cobb, though. I thought Cobb would get. No?
Yeah, I mean,
Another
Cobb was good.
2nd round pick?
Yeah, I just think the fact that he had 1,000-yard season as a Green Bay Packer.
Let me ask you a question. Here's something for you as we wrap this up. Who in the last 5 years, drafted by the Packers, has the potential to make this list? Has the potential to boot someone on the list?
Jordan Love.
That's
Jordan Love.
That might be it.
Zach Tom, if he could stay healthy.
Zach Tom is going to knock off a Cliffy.
Yeah, he's got a
or
ways to go.
a Bakhtiari. I'm not saying it has to be an offensive lineman, but like.
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like that one.
Yep.
Tucker Kraft. I mean.
Edgerrin Cooper has the potential.
Christian Watson, no.
He needs
to
about
get it
2
going.
more contracts.
Yeah. Xavier. Oh, you got to be drafted. He wasn't drafted. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big detail.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
But I find that interesting that we're not like this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy could, potentially be on the top 10. It's slim pickings right now. Just haven't seen enough. And again, this goes back to the conversation that Gabe has all the time about superstars.
Yeah.
Right?
Little light.
All right. Take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on right after this.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 4394, backing up out of the Plainfield curve all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. There is a crash there off on the right shoulder. Southbound on 43, heavy from Silver Spring down towards Locust. Westbound 94, you got some backups from 35th Street all the way to Holly Road. A little bit more delayed right around Moreland. On the eastbound side, we got backups from about 76th Street to 35th, and northbound 41, heavy from before Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh. Southbound is backing up from the county line down to Appleton Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny and chilly, a high of 35 at the lake, 41 inland. Tonight, chance for rain, mostly cloudy, a low of 29. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Spring has arrived.
How are things at Kessler's Greenfield, Kelly?
Fantastic. I heard you have an idea for springtime. I love spring. I have a big collection of new life to show you.
New life is a spring thing.
Show us. I call it crosses and clovers. These are amazing. Well done, Kelly.
These are stunningly unique.
Kelly, the surface of this 4-leaf clover is fantastic. What's it made of? Sarah, the surface of that lucky 4-leaf clover is made of crushed black diamonds. Wow. I'm buying this one. How much? $185. In yellow gold vermeil, it's just $270. This cross, $90.
And these initials pendants?
These are $60.
Clovers, crosses, and personalized pendants.
And a leprechaun that says they're magically delicious. Sarah, that's a breakfast cereal.
Kelly, you've done well.
Extremely well.
Extremely very well. Happy springtime, everyone.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Calidora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
Got your tax refund? Before it mysteriously disappears, invested in something you'll actually see every day. Your home. At Exterior Pros and Baths, turn that refund into energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath remodel. And they'll take it even further with $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during the April savings event. But don't wait. This offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
1896, Horicon Bank first opened its doors. Wisconsin wasn't even 50 years old.
We've maintained our roots over the years and yet expanded.
We empower our people to invest in the community. We give them 40 hours of volunteer time.
We're doing it with a personal touch, with a desire to say yes to our customers.
You shouldn't have to work with a bank that sends their profits to New York City or Toronto. You can keep your money here and it benefits Wisconsin.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC.
Look around your office. Does it look like 1994 called and wants its lobby back?
Most brands just show up, often amongst outdated decor.
At Captivate Exhibits, ordinary space is the enemy. Beige walls, faded graphics, that motivational poster no one reads.
That's not culture, that's camouflage.
Captivate designs and build spaces that don't whisper, they speak. They spark conversations. People lean in.
Stop blending in and start captivating today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How are you feeling, big guy, about the MRI?
It's starting to hurt now. I think I have mental issues. I really do.
Well,
gonna have to clip that
yeah,
for me?
that's just, I mean,
hold on to it.
I know. I don't think there's anything wrong. It's just I think it's something in my brain's telling me
something is wrong, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Brewers win the opener at Fenway last night, 8-6 the final. They improved to 8-2 on the season. And apparently Wilson Contreras, not to be confused with William, but Wilson Contreras, has been hit by 131 pitches in his career. Why is that relevant? Because apparently the Brewers account for 24 of them, which is 10 more than any other team. So apparently, whatever team Wilson Contreras is on, they automatically have beef with the Brewers. And it sort of reared its ugly head last night as Contreras, take a listen to this, after he got hit by a pitch.
Just a hit by pitch. That's the 24th time that they hit me in my career, 24th. And that's the 6th time they hit me. And they always say, I'm not trying to hit you. That get old. So next time they hit me again, I'm going to take one of them out. That's what happened. That's a message. That's a message.
That's a message. Okay.
I love it.
What do you love about it?
I love fights in sports. They're so delicious. Don't you want to see some action?
This to me feels blustery. You know what I mean by blustery? You know, you got those guys who are blustery. This feels a little like that.
No, I will say,
because it wasn't just the hit by pitch, right? There was the slide, there was the jawing with Woodruff. There was
last year when he stepped in the way of Caleb Durbin. There was previously when he was with the Cubs and he put his arm out and tried to get hit but missed putting his arm in the way. There's a long history here.
All right. Now, I will say the weak part about it is he didn't want anything to do with Woody, and Woody was walking right at him like, let's go. Now, the Miz is a little different story. Miz isn't quite as thick as Woody, you know. So, from that aspect, I thought it was pretty weak.
If
but
Wilson Contreras tries to fight Jacob Mizorowski, we riot. Okay? Like, you can't go after the kid. You can't go after, and I don't think that The Miz is going to try to hit him today in some sort of retaliation. In fact, here is what Christian Yelich had to say when he was asked about Wilson Contreras' blustery response.
I think Woodruff handled all the emotion in the middle innings.
Big Woo's done a great job. I mean, he's pitched for a really long time. I mean, we've seen that skit for the last 10 years. It's nothing new, not surprising. You just keep it rolling. You got a game to win, and lock the boys in, rally the troops. And, we knew we had 6 innings left to play with there at that time, and we responded with 4 right there, and ended up being a great ball game back and forth, and glad we came out on top.
So he kind of called him out, called him a blowhard, which I love.
Skit. The word skit was perfectly placed.
That's a cutting word.
You know, I kind of feel bad for Chu is William Contreras, who is behind the dish for all of this action. He must be just looking at his brother like, not now, bro. Like, can we not? Can we, can we just not do this? Wilson is older. Yes. William is younger.
Okay. I mean, he walked him all the way down. I think it's must-watch TV today because this is Boston, and I ain't gonna lie. People in Boston like to fight. They're annoying how much they like to fight. I used to bounce downtown Boston when I was at BC. Jeez, crow the Irish every night. Really, we got to do this every night. So I have to watch it now because I think there's going to be some action. But if someone was to hit him, Joshy, who would it be? Ashby?
No, he doesn't seem like you're probably looking at if a Trevor McGill gets into a game. I don't think he's going to step down from anybody on earth. Zerpa's a pretty large individual. I don't know if he's available. But you definitely go for... The Miz wants nothing to do with this. I can tell you that. And the Brewers want Miz to have nothing to do with it either. Yeah. That is way too much. I don't know if it happens today, if it happens tomorrow, but something about the direct threat of I'm going to take one of them out after you already got your high slide out and ripped the pants of it, like. The color guy for Boston said it was a clean slide. That's not a clean slide. Your foot was 2 feet in the air.
Ripped his pants.
Yeah. Your foot goes to the base. If your foot's not on the base, you're not going to be safe. So, he did get his response. I'll be interested to see if the Brewers just move on from it. Because in the past, you were going to see him multiple times throughout the year. You're not going to see Wilson again unless he ends up traded in the division or something. So... I can't imagine this is fully done with the level of history these two teams have.
Well, I can tell you this. The fans are going to want action. The fans will want action there tonight.
I think anyway.
That's just how they're wired. I got to watch. I'm sorry.
I do think that, if it's anybody else, this is sort of just like a pesky, annoying, again, to use Christian Yelich's term, skit. But because it's their starting catcher's brother, I feel like it's more soap opera. I feel like it's more dramatic. I don't know. Is there ever
add a layer,
right? Is there ever a point where William is like, "Cut the bleep, bro"? You know what I mean? Is there ever a point where he's like, "This is getting old. Why are we still doing this?" Or I mean, again, when he was asked about it, he says that's how he plays. He plays with passion. He plays with fire, and it always seems like it's just a little dramatic, a little over the top.
Yeah, I mean,
he barely got hit. I mean,
they reviewed it, and they couldn't confirm it.
Yeah.
They had to say the call stands.
Not enough evidence to overturn, so...
Right, the call stands, as we all know very well from football. That's the same process. They looked at it in slow motion and said, I can't guarantee that he was actually hit. And mind you, the places where he's usually getting hit is that big elbow pad, which is made for the very reason of inside pitches.
Yeah, in fact, Dr. Denver Dan weighing in the YouTube stream says, okay, good, back off the plate then. Put your Barry Bonds elbow pad out of the zone. Meanwhile, Chris weighing in saying, first class Jack bleep. Can we say that on the radio? I don't even know. I'm
sure.
All bark, no bite, just like he has always been. Mike weighing in saying, I'd call his bluff and go after him first pitch of his at-bat. But that would be the Miz. And I don't want the Miz mixed up in this stuff, right? And then, of course, if it's McGill, let's say he's on for a 3-out save, you just have to hope that Contreras is part of the lineup shows up, when McGill is up there, which is a gamble as well. So maybe you have to handle it in those middle innings, whenever the Miz gets pulled and you go to your bullpen. Because, like I said, if you're banking on McGill to do it and Contreras doesn't come up in the lineup when McGill has his, either save opportunity, then do you wait for tomorrow? Is that the play?
Is it all it's going to take is a brushback? Not even getting hit?
But again, to the point of how he stands over the plate, everything's a brushback.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you see somebody come up in an unusual spot in the pitcher's
then
in the part of the game, you go, what's he doing there? That'll be a dead giveaway that the Brewers are looking for a little retribution for. Now, but to be clear, it's just words, and every Brewer who was asked about it kind of was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't know though.
But doesn't that mean now he's got to do something because then he looks like a blowhard?
Yes, it does look like that. Basically, you would be challenging him. Are you going to do something about this?
This is going to be good. What time's the game?
Well, a couple of things. More YouTube reaction rolling in. Chris says, I got a hundo on Wild Bill. Dr. Denver Dan weighing in saying, remember, they have 2 wins. 2 wins this season, which, of course, is funny in and of itself. But then I do have Josh weighing in saying, no chance Chewy watches. LOL, Chewy won't watch.
Here's the thing. They need to get it done in the first 3 innings.
Chewy,
6:45.
He's calling you out, man. This is like Contreras calling out the Brewers for getting hit by pitches. You got to decide what you're going to do here, pal.
But he bats 3rd in the lineup, so that's the first inning he's going to be up. And it starts at 6:45.
You feel pretty good about that one then?
That gives me about an hour and a half.
See? So basically it needs to happen in the first 6 innings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
for
fine.
For the most part.
We'll send him a text. At 6:43, we'll send you a text reminding you to tune into the Brewers. And you shouldn't have to because it's Boston, which, by the way, you usually like watching the Red Sox. But again, they only have 2 wins, so maybe that's changing your tune.
Brewers are my team.
Ben in Kenosha says, is Wilson more brazen with the Brewers because his brother is always there to protect him? I haven't gotten the impression that William wants to be involved in this.
No, he certainly doesn't seem like it, but could it be, well, what are they going to do with me? My brother's next to me as this is all happening. I certainly think it could be a factor.
Imagine Wilson Contreras looking over at William and being like, you going to help me here?
Yeah.
Just be like, nah, man, you're on your own in this one. All right, Jen gave it to you. He rolls on after the stick around.
There comes a point where you know it's time to do something for yourself. I wanted real goals, real change, and I decided 2026 is the year I look and feel my best. I'm Josh DiMaggio, and I'm starting that journey with Milwaukee Weight Loss. From the first consultation, the team really listened and built a customized plan around me and my goals. I've lost more than 35 pounds at this point, and I am feeling great. And for a limited time, you can get $200 off with the spring special. This program is different. No intense workouts, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, no counting calories, drugs, or surgery or injections. Just a proven metabolic reset. Many patients lose up to a pound of fat a day. Some people lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or 2. Milwaukee Weight Loss has already helped thousands of people change their lives. Schedule a free consultation at 262-235-3980. That's 262-235-3980. Or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. With Wildy and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Northbound on 4394, backing up out.
Matt LaFleur's on the clock, man. And I know he got an extension, but I'll say this. If they revert and don't get better, you're evaluated on your results.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Everybody knows, it's championship or bust. That is what Green Bay is. And unfortunately, we've had 15 years of bust.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. James' client, Amy Simonson, IT administrator with Professional Services Group.
We have several locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin. Having them all under one company has been very helpful.
Big or small, one location or several, James Imaging Systems is your one-stop business technology resource.
And they are on top of everything. When we have a problem, it's answered right away.
James Imaging Systems. systems, IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and unrivaled local service and support.
And they're always looking for what else can we do? What else do you need? So they want our company to succeed as well as their own.
Let James Imaging Systems help your business succeed. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Put Brewers weekends back on your schedule when the Crew take on the Nationals April 10th through the 12th. Collect a new Mish trading card bobblehead for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 11th, courtesy of Toyota. Then reserve Sunday for a full day of family fun. Kids can run the bases, get autographs, and the first 5,000 kids get a Brewers wiffle ball set, courtesy of Joy. Plus, it's a kids cheer free Sunday. Grab your seat at brewers.com/tickets.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, so knowing the person and the skills behind the resume matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Smalls here. What if you could enjoy the flavor of a cocktail without the alcohol? Meet RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category that delivers bold taste and a warming sensation, but with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and zero calories. So you can celebrate with friends, unwind after a long day, and wake up tomorrow feeling great. It's all the ritual of a drink without the regret. Discover RK at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, the spirit without the alcohol.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, has college football gotten a little sleazy? Where you can recruit
a little?
No, I'm saying from the standpoint, it used to be. That was good.
On 94.5 ESPN.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes, no more, no less. It's Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you miss any of the action, you can always get caught up with Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. Speaking of basketball, Michigan is your men's champion after a win last night over UConn. And I got to say, whoa.
Josh is excited for Michigan.
I'm good.
You
got gremlins?
It was all the way down.
Ugh. Good
That's
Lord.
not supposed to happen.
That really hurt. It's okay. We're moving on. When I'm 50 and the doctors are like, well, you can't hear anymore, Jen, I'm going to point to that moment right there as to, no, it's going to be
comp.
the sustained audio in my ears for all these years. Dusty May's story, Chewy, is fantastic. You remember, of course, he was at Florida Atlantic, winning, goes to the Final Four, and he had his pick of the litter of teams that he could have gone to coach for. He chose Michigan, right, after they fired Juwan Howard, which was a very big deal, obviously, because of what he meant to that program. And in 2 years, he wins them a national title. This is Signetti-esque. But in basketball, I know that the money has a lot to do with it and being able to funnel, all of those funds to these players' pockets. But, man, you got to be impressed with the job that Dusty May did at Michigan, right?
I didn't realize it had been since '89 that they won the national championship. So, yeah, I mean, it's still Michigan. Very university with a lot of issues as of late. I still don't like them, but I think I would take Michigan winning over Hurley because it's amazing how he is not liked at all.
Chewy's over here, lesser of two evils-ing who he wants to win the national championship.
Yeah.
Well, this guy is not great, but this guy is really bad. I guess it's more of a program thing when it comes to Michigan. All right, Wilde and Tausch is next on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great day, everybody.